Crafters, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to, I'm actually doing this right after our other tutorial, but I forgot to add it on. I already said goodbye. So what I wanted to do was for my design team project for Country Craft Creations, using the What's Cooking cardstock exclusively for Country Craft Creations, I wanted to show you before we started on the other items is the feet for the box. And I am going to be putting this foot on the bottom of the box. These I bought off of Amazon, and you can look for them online. And basically what I wanted to do is why I wanted to get these on now is because I wanted them to dry before I come back to finish off the tutorial. So I do not put the feet on by screwing them into the box. I feel like it's more of a frustration than not, because a lot of times what happens is that those screws go right through the box and then they poke on the inside. So for me, that's what's happened. I'm not saying that it's happened that way for everybody, but that's been my experience, so I am just doing it this way. And what I like to use is either my art glitter glue or my Fabri-Tac. And since I've had this Fabri-Tac for a while, I am going to use this because I want to use it up and not sit with the bottle for 3 years or 2 years, because I really only use the Fabri-Tac when I need something, you know, with fabric or metal. But I'll tell you, I used to use Fabri-Tac all the time when it came to for putting my mini albums together. And I started using it because of another crafter used it all the time, and she just swore by it. So I think that she uses mostly art glitter glue now, but at that time when I first started crafting, this was what she used. So I'm going to put those onto the bottom of our box, and then I'm going to let them dry overnight before or at least give it a good 5 or 6 hours. The one thing about Fabri-Tac that I can say that is I don't like so much sometimes is the fact that if you shake it too much, it does bubble up after you set it down, and it kind of gets this glue bubble on the top. But I've always had very good luck with it for sticking on metal pieces or paper, and for it drying clear. So and the reason for putting the foot on the bottom, or feet on the bottom of the box, is so that if there's any wet spots on the counter or any spills of any kind, that it has your box that is made out of chipboard and paper up off the counter. So that's my reasoning for why I want to have feet on any of my recipe boxes. Unless it was made out of metal, that's kind of a different fact. All right, and one last one, and our glue bubble here. I just squish my glue all over the metal piece and wipe off what squishes out. I can honestly say that I've never had anything that I have used Fabri-Tac on any issues with it. So if you're looking for a good glue to help put metal on, unless you want to use your E6000, that's something you definitely could use, but I just kind of steer away from that as much as possible because of everybody talks about the fumes. So then I just clean the top of my bottle off and close it up, and we're good to go for the next time. So I'm going to stop here, and for you it'll be a minute. For me it'll be probably this evening or the next day. So we'll see you in a little bit. Bye. Good morning, crafters. I am back after putting the feet on my box, and it is a couple days later. I'm going to apologize right up front. My lighting, I've been having some issues with my lighting and can't quite figure it out to be making it the way I want it to look. So I'm hoping that this one will turn out a little bit better than a couple I've done in the past. So what I wanted to talk about on this video is to kind of do a final walkthrough of the box, as well as showing you the inside and what I've added. So as you can see, I've added my silverware onto the box here, and then with this box I've also added on my feet, and these are smaller feet than what I had used on the original box. The original box I used the graphic 45 feet. These are some feet I had in my stash that I had gotten off of Amazon. I'll be honest, I think I like the graphic 45 feet a little bit better, but up to you on what you think. Here's the graphic 45 feet, and it gives just a little bit better height to the box. So that's probably, if I'm going to make any more of these boxes, I probably will go ahead and get some more of the graphic 45 feet, and I think Tamara has these in stock. So check out Country Craft Creations first and see if she has any of those left in stock. But otherwise, these are the feet that I had used. I also went ahead and finished the inside of the box. You can see I used a different color of paper all the way throughout the box. The thing that I forgot to do was I forgot to put my ribbon in underneath the paper. So I still am trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I had a few different ideas, but quite honestly, this box top sits pretty well and without really an issue. So I'm just going to leave it for now, and if it becomes an issue or anything wrong with it, then I'll add something to it, and I probably will just add something even though it's going to appear on top of the paper, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it works and what happens with it. So on the inside of the box, what I ended up doing was finishing off my recipe cards, and not recipe cards, but my dividers with my recipe cards. And this time, instead of using the chipboard, I ended up using just black artisan cardstock from Country Craft Creations. And I did my tabs on my punch board from We Are Memory Keepers, my little punch board. And basically what I had done with this punch board is I had cut my pieces for the tabs. I cut them 2.5 inches wide and then by 3 inches long, and then I just scored them in half. And I have my tab punch right in the second, you know, there's the 2 spots here. I have it in the second one over from this side, and I just put my tab up to the top and punched it, then turned it over and punched it. So that's how I made my tabs and did my stamps on them, and then I put my dividers together. And what I did is I had put some paper on the top. These were all from my remnants, and a strip of paper on the bottom, and then this is a black piece of cardstock that I put across the middle with some of the cutouts that I added. And then on the back of here, I ended up adding red cardstock just to give it a little bit more weight. And quite honestly, these dividers are just wonderful with the additional cardstock. And this is the red artisan cardstock as well. I love the weight of them. So that's how my dividers are. And the dividers basically are 4.5 by 6 1/4. That's how I made them. I made them a little bit taller than in the first box because I think the first box was, it was 4 by 6 1/4. And these I made 4.5 by 6.5. I wanted a little bit more height, but still having enough room for my dividers. And I, again, put the artisan cardstock on the back for that. The other thing that I did was looking at and I put that in this box. Sometimes if the box is not too full yet with the recipes, because there's a lot of room in here, I ended up making just chipboard stop so that I can still go through my recipes pretty well without having them all fall over in my box. And I can adjust this as I fill the box up. And basically all this was a piece of chipboard that I cut 3 by 12, and I scored with my cutter just once or twice along here, and then not along the back, but then just pulled those edges in. So they're still attached to each other, but I've given myself the ability to angle on this box. So again, I can make this smaller as my box fills up so that it's not too tight or too restrictive, but I thought that that would help me while I'm still filling this with recipes. So that is my boxes. If you have any questions at all about this design team project for Country Craft Creations, please let me know. I answer all the comments and questions below in the box. I hope you enjoy crafting and getting this paper from Tamara's store, Country Craft Creations, and I look forward to seeing you soon. I have another project coming up. I believe it's going to be similar to a folio, but maybe a trifold folio, and thinking about putting it into a gift box. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to get started on the base of that probably today. So have a great day. Thank you so much for joining me, and enjoy your crafting.